Good. So first thing I noticed about, so now I'm on the KTM, and the first thing I noticed was the seat.
Mine's lower than German's.
I felt like I was right. I felt like this bike was lower than mine. It's not. It's a taller bike, but it felt lower than mine because the seat's narrow, and I can actually get my feet down more easily.
Hold on, let me
Just the way I'm built. I'm all torso. 6 feet tall, 30-inch inseam. It's kind of weird, right? I'm all upper body. I would have been a good swimmer. Well, I was a good swimmer. Not good. I was a respectable swimmer. Oh yeah, there it is. What the hell? I bet you I knocked it off.
Oh my god, I cannot. I'm gonna adjust your ears. Hold on.
You know what? There was a point where I bet you I knocked it off right there. Did I? No, it's still on. Never mind. What the hell? Yeah, let's keep a look for the ram mount piece. If we find it, I can always rewind the video a little bit and we can watch it again. I mean, what the hell? I got all night. No. I never use it in dual sports mode. Honestly, a peak, I hate the peak. I can't stand it on the road, or even on roads like this. It's awful. That's all I can say. It's pretty straightforward. The peak is nice. Like, you notice how the sun is kind of in my eyes? Yeah, the peak is cool because it blocks the sun. That's nice, but when you're going fast, I will see. I still don't know if I like brushed it off by mistake. The thing about the peak is, when you go above, I would say above 60 miles an hour, it starts like moving your head around. It's like someone's grabbed your helmet and is like lightly tugging on it in like random directions while you're riding. And I don't like it. It tires you out really fast, and it sucks. Also, goggles on the road are awful, and I know you're more sensitive to this than me. Yes, no. If you're going on honest-to-God off-road, you need to use a peak and goggles. Period. End of story. Because the thing about goggles is it allows air to flow into your eyes. So you're protecting your eyes while still letting air flow in. Does that make any sense? And that allows you to maintain a more regulated body temperature in low-speed riding. But at high-speed riding, like again, 60 miles an hour or above, so much air flows into your eyes. It sucks. Like 5 minutes of that, and you're going to wish you had a visor. Yeah, it does protection. Absolutely. Yeah. Goggles and a peak have their advantages, but what I would say is, now my helmet sucks, the Arai XD4. I might have made the wrong choice. It doesn't have a quick release visor. So it's a real pain in the ass. I can't just pop the visor on and off. Now, if there's a helmet where you can pop the peak and the visor on and off while you're riding, that's what you want. That way you can if for whatever reason you're in a situation where you need goggles and a peak, bada bing, bada boom, a couple minutes of popping it on and off. With mine, there's like a bunch of screws, a bunch of crap to lose. You don't want that. The XD4 is a helmet I would not recommend. Also, the quality control on the XD4, you hear a lot of good things about Arai's quality. The XD4 is not a helmet that I would consider to be a extremely high quality helmet. The toggles and the switches and all the plastic bits that you can adjust, have like half of them are broken on my helmet. The Corsair X, much higher quality. That's a sports bike helmet. So I don't know if Arai's really the company for dual sport. I would definitely consider some other company. I don't know where to go though, because I'm not replacing spending $600 for what am I trying to say? I'm not going to spend $600 just to have some better features when I already have a working helmet.
I think that's on the way down too.
Like when I go to super camp, so yeah, I said super camp's on. When I go to super camp, I'm definitely going to bring my Rye with the peak and the goggles. Yeah. Really? You know, I can understand that, but dude, I hate to say this. It just, I'm not saying that the other helmets are better. I'm just saying it's worth looking at because I feel like the XD4 could be better. It could have a... So besides the point I mentioned with the quick release stuff where it's actually a real pain to change visors and the peak and stuff, and there's parts you could literally lose out in the middle of nowhere and then be stuck without a peak or a visor. You don't want that. Anyways, the big problem I have with this helmet, and it is serious, is the visors themselves are terrible. They are not designed for correct pin lock usage. The pin lock, you know, on most visors, the pin lock is in like a recessed part of the visor. So the pin lock sits in the visor, right? Like an indentation in the visor. On the XD4 visors, the pin lock just sits on the visor, and it fogs up. It doesn't actually work. So like, I just feel like they need to make like an XD5 that's like an XD4 with a quick release and better pin lock visor, and that would be an awesome helmet. I would get, if they came out with that, I would literally throw my XD4 in the trash. Well, not in the trash, but I would literally, you know, hold on to my XD4 until the 5-year mark, but never wear it again unless I had to, for whatever reason. Ooh, I'm moving, man. What am I doing? 40, 48? That's going pretty quick on a road like this, which probably has a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. I'm telling you, like, Arai makes really good quality helmets. Like my Corsair X is it's amazing. It's such a great helmet, but the XD4 has a lot of problems. It has a lot of small to major problems. So now I know. Again, I'm trying not to name names, just because this is a public stream. So, but I know one of the riders we have that's not here today has a Tortec helmet. And I'm not saying that's a better helmet, because I have never looked at it closely or looked into it closely, but I would look at that. And I know, I think a couple other companies as well make ADV-style helmets with switchable stuff. And honestly, I would not just go Arai because it's Arai and you've had good luck with them on this particular helmet. Which is a shame, because I'll tell you this, the helmet fits great and feels amazing. It is so bloody comfortable. I could wear it all day, and I can and have had that helmet on my head for 16 hours in a day, and it was fine. So, it's not all doom and gloom. It's a great helmet. It's just the stuff on the outside, right? The helmet itself is great, and the inside of the helmet's great, but it's the stuff on the outside that's not so great, if that makes any sense. Oh, I'm out of coffee. Hey, people are blowing me up on Discord. Not blowing me up, but lots of messages. Man, I'm so... I swear, you feel like you're going off-road, you feel like you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour on a road like this, and you look at the speed and you're like 35. I will tell you this, though, I mean, hitting a tree at 35 ain't gonna be fun. I've hit a tree going maybe, not on a bike, but on a skateboard, I've hit a tree going maybe 10, 15 miles an hour, and I was screwed up for like a week. I had road rash. The tree gave me road rash like all down my body like this. Not good. I've also crashed on a bicycle going like 30 before. That was awful. Gave me road rash like all over my arm. Which is funny because I'm the guy who squints on his scooter all the time, right? I'll ride the scooter with a helmet, gloves, and nothing else. You know, with like a sweatshirt. And I'm actually wearing shorts below here. I'm doing the I'm doing the Zoom or Skype, the Skype method where your business up top and party up below, right? It's good stuff. Yeah, it's strange to me when you look at the map on Google. This part of the road is literally as straight as a pencil, but when you're on it, it's not. I mean, it's not twisty, but it you know, there's some it meanders around a bit. You know what I mean? So it really confuses me. It really confuses me. I need to plug my GPS into the computer and see what the tracks look like and see how they line up to the actual road on the map, because the way this thing is mapped out and what it is in real life are not the same thing. It's kind of interesting. Or not. So what do I think about this bike off-road? Let's get back to the topic at hand. I think if you want a TLDR, it's, again, amazing bike. Absolutely amazing motorcycle. It's an adventure bike. It's like a rally bike. Like, it reminds me of like a WRX STI for like these kind of roads. Like, it's just designed for this. Like, going really fast on relatively easy but unpaved terrain is what this thing is made for, in my opinion. And when I say really fast, I mean, like, I think a skilled rider could go over 100 miles an hour on this road on that bike with the right tires. I think you would want more aggressive tires with a little, once I can handle lower pressure. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to say. More aggressive tires, you can run lower pressures, and that's a ball game I don't understand. I'm just gonna say that. So, like, say like the K60s, right? At 3642, the K60s aren't that great, but I never tried the K60s at, say, what about like 25.
Oh god, you can fall, but
I was scared to mess up my rims. But when you have spoked rims, all you have to do is, right, you hammer it out and re-true it, right, and it's fixed, or some shit. So I kind of forgot about that with 50/50 tires, that you can air them down, and I wonder if that bigger, wider contact patch will give you more confidence off road. I don't know. I don't think it'll give you more confidence on the road. It'll make the whole bike feel more vague. Like, as you saw when I was talking about that Gixxer video, if any of you guys watched it. First Gixxer video, I hated the bike. Second, I rode the same bike a couple months later. Nothing changed. I mean, especially with regards to the handling of the bike. And yet I loved it. And what changed? Oh, we had the right... It just came from the shop, so it had the proper tire pressures. Whereas before, they were God only knows what. It's a big deal. Having the right tire pressures on a bike is such a big deal that even being off by like 4 or 5 psi can completely change the way you experience a motorcycle. Okay, so that is really something you need to keep in mind. I think when we were comparing, say, this KTM to the GS to the GSA, that's where I think a lot of the differences come in, is the way the bikes handle tires. So, and I'm going to start by saying, yeah, T-Clocks, hell yeah, absolutely. I love the GS, and I'm going to say this, I love the GS because it gives you the tire pressure, so you don't have to check them. You fire the bike up, and since I live in a neighborhood, I fire the bike up, and I'll start riding out of the neighborhood, and before I get out, I will go up to 18 miles an hour, I'll go up to 20 miles an hour, and then roll off. And when I roll off, the tire pressure comes up. And if the tire pressures aren't what I want, I just go, my neighborhood's a circle. I just circle back and go back to my house and pump up the tires with my bicycle pump, or let a little air out. The R6, I had to check the tire pressure with the pump like every week. Ugh. But yeah, okay, so the big thing about this bike, and it's funny, I was talking a lot about this bike, but I didn't mention it before. Yeah, exactly. That's a great feature to have. luxury. It's true luxury. Yeah, so yeah, you changed your name. Good for you. It's gonna show up in the stream. Sorry. You both forgot to set your names before you posted. I can always, you know what? I can always make this an unlisted video after it's done, if you guys would like. What? That's lame. Well, that's one thing with the GS. Like, you pay more for a GS than you do for other equivalent bikes, but it does come with more crap. It really does. Like with the built-in navigation ability. Yeah, I'll enlist this recording, but I'm not doing it again. This is the only one you're getting. If I make another recording, I'm not enlisting any of the other ones. Okay? But honestly, no one cares, dude. No one cares. I only have like a few. I've never had a troll. I say that, but we'll see what happens. I've never had a troll or a. Oh, you have an XCA. Cool. 21K. Yeah, but the GS is what, like 22.5? So you know, you're paying an extra $1.5 grand, and that's kind of what the extra money goes for, you know. So okay, back to the bikes. This bike has a 19-inch front, or this bike has a. Yeah, they both have 19-inch front wheels. Right? The KTM Adventure S has a 19-inch, right? Or is it 21? It's interesting. Because you got your 17s, your 19s, and your 21s, right? Yeah. BMW does the same kind of thing too. It's just that they don't sell the bike with all that crap on it. They can't. If you look at the website, they apparently make a base model, but you can never find it. Oh, 21. Okay, sorry. So the BMW is 1719, and this is 1821. That is probably the biggest difference between these two bikes, in my opinion. After sleeping on it and thinking about it a lot, the bigger tires completely change the way this bike performs compared to a GS. There's just no doubt in my mind about that. And that's because the profile is different, right? They're the same width as a GS, but they're bigger. So the profile, it's actually the ratio of width to height is quite a bit different. So that's really going to change the way the sidewalls perform on these tires. And I think that gives this bike a massive advantage in feel. I don't know the physics of it, but yeah, the feel of this bike, the way, the confidence it gives you is just, it cannot be beat compared to a GS. Cannot beat that. No matter what you do to a GS, it will not beat this bike in confidence off the road at all. I don't know what the GS is. Honestly, this probably is narrower. So this is probably taller and narrower. So, yeah. Second thing is it's a suspension. The GS, yeah, the tail lever, and yeah, the suspension on this bike is non-electronic, but you can also tell it is really, really high quality. Like, they spent the money, so the money that the BMW spent on the electronic suspension, they spent on the non-electronic parts of the suspension. So this suspension is the dampening system, or the damping system, damn it. The damping system, like the compression and the rebound, the slow bump, fast bump, and all that. I locked the brakes there and got scared. All that is it's much better. So what that gives you is a stiffer, higher. It's got a much higher spring rate than the GS. It feels like it has a much higher spring rate than the GS, but more suspension travel and a more compliant ride. And I don't understand how that works. I don't understand how it can be stiffer and more compliant at the same time. I don't get the physics, but it is. It absolutely is. The third thing's the weight. I think it's like 70 pounds lighter, 75 pounds lighter, something like that, stock for stock. I mean, that's a lot of weight. You know what I mean? That's like having that's like having a kid on the back of your bike. So that again, I mean, those are the three big differences between the bike. You want to start talking small differences. The The bars are closer to you on this bike. You are, when you're standing up on the bike, you have less leverage. So for me, I would want to tilt the bars up just a little bit, not to make them higher necessarily, but to get them away from me so I have a little more leverage. That's just what I'm used to. I don't know it's right or wrong. Also, the pegs are higher, so you have a little less leg room. But at the same time, I bet you get more lean angle. Whatever. That's a little thing. Quick shifter. On my personal GS, the 2013.5 probably has the worst quick shifter out of any bike you can get. It's awful. It barely works. But it does work. It's really weird and awful, and it has a lot of quirks. This thing, whatever. It works. That's all I can say. I've ridden bikes with better quick shifters, but not by much. I mean, we're talking like splitting hairs. Like the S series BMWs are a little better, but they're sports bikes. Like, of course they're better. This has a wider ratio gearbox. You know. What else? Wind protection is adequate, but you start to feel a pretty big difference. The windscreen's more narrow, and it's just a little less wind protection. I'd say above 75. Not a big deal. The vibrations of this bike are 5% more, 10% more. It's not anything that would. It's nothing that you would notice. The seat's obviously a sports seat. You know, it's hard and narrow compared to my GS's big ass Sergeant seat. TFT is amazing. Love the TFT. Huge step up from the old 2013.5. You can't even compare it. The TFT is wonderful. I love it. Finally, the big negative of the KTM is the brakes. They're not bad. They are really good. It's just that when you have Brembos and linked brakes, and you get used to Brembos and linked brakes, going to anything else feels like a big downgrade. It really does. So, the brakes on this bike are good. Don't get me wrong. They work. They have great feel. They work really well. And in fact, unlinked brakes give you significantly more control, right? We were both, myself and the KTM owner here, were both saying that yeah, you can lock, especially when you're going downhill, you can lock the rear brake with the front brake lever on the BMW.
I'm not used to having to use the rear brakes. So keep locking it up.
Yeah, I locked it up pretty bad there because I keep stepping on it too hard. I'm not used to actually using it. On the GS, I either use the front by itself, which activates both, or I use the rear by itself, which only activates the rear. I never use the front and the rear together unless I'm rolling to a stop. And that's when I'm like kind of letting off the front and pressing on the rear. Like there might be a little overlap like this. It's the only time I ever use them both at the same time. Because it just, there's no point. There's no need to do it. The linked brakes work really, really well on the GS. So, what are you gonna do? So what are we about? Let's see where we are now. I think it's about time for a little break. Don't you think? A little breaky poo. We are an hour 7.5. Okay. So I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna mute myself, and I'm gonna take down the video, but the video is gonna keep going. So don't leave because I am coming back in a minute, and I'm gonna take all this down, mute the video. I'm gonna use the restroom and make a cup of coffee, and I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Anyways.
Yeah, what's kind of a you don't want to.
back. Let's see that. And I'm back. Wow, that was pretty easy. A little break. Let's see if anyone's still watching. Take a look at my phone. This is like the boring part of the video. I made this about 8 minutes long. I knew it was going to kind of be a break in the action, and I like seeing my bike. You know, I always say my bike's ugly, but watching it move, actually seeing the bike like from a third-person perspective, like while it's just sitting there. Oh, one second. So let me finish my thought, and I'll get to that thought. So actually seeing my bike in motion from a third-party perspective, like in real life, I don't know why, but that made me fall in love with my bike again. Let me adjust my headphones. There we go. That's your question. Yeah. Now to your question, Vic. Yeah, no, I actually really am starting to appreciate how it looks. I did not like how it looked when I bought it, but now that I've seen it in motion, I think I'm going to stop talking crap about how it looks. Anyways, about the camera battery. Apparently there's things called dummy batteries, where it goes into the battery slot and you plug it into the wall and you can go forever. I have not looked into it yet. I don't know if my camera supports it or not. M6 Mark II dummy battery. Here, I'll look it up right now. It'll take 2 seconds. Let's see what we got. M6 Mark II dummy battery. All right. Yeah, look at this. I see a number of them. So yeah, I'm gonna give that a try. I think that's a good way to do it. The camera's getting a little warm, but I wouldn't exactly say it's getting hot. It can probably, as long as it's in my house and my house is say below 80 degrees, I bet it can record and do this indefinitely. Because I'm gonna have to switch the battery one more time. Yeah, so I was gonna get to that point. That's why I made this long, 8 minutes, so I can do a lot of stuff. So 65 miles an hour and below, KTM is fine. Very comfortable. The only reason the GS is more comfortable at 65 miles an hour and below is the seat. So that's it. Oh, and the reach to the pegs. The KTM does have higher pegs. Sports bike stuff, you know, sporty bike stuff. Now, I think you could solve both of those on the KTM with a different seat. If you got a seat that's higher, bada bing, bada boom, longer reach to the pegs, wider seats, more comfy butt, everything would be good. Now, above 65, I don't know. I feel like you're just giving the bike more throttle to go the same speed as the GS, if that makes any sense. Like, you have to physically work harder on the bike to keep it at speed. Like, it goes plenty fast. It'll go over 100, I'm sure, but, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like the difference between... Okay, actually, this is a really good comparison. It's like the difference between my Ford Fiesta and my old Lexus LS400. Like, the LS400 had this big V8 engine, 4-liter dual overhead cam V8 engine with all kinds of crap on it, and it would just cruise. I mean, it would go 80, 90 miles an hour, and it was like you wouldn't even think about it. You kind of have to think to make this bike go fast. You actually have to, like, twist the throttle a lot and hold it open. If that makes any sense. Also, at 80 miles an hour, you get a little beat up by the wind. I don't think it's a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination. Honestly, I would not call this bike a touring bike, like a touring bike, because it just doesn't have that luxury feel. But that said, I think you can live with this bike all day. I'm gonna be an ass. You can live with this bike on the highway at 80 miles an hour like you can live with the GS off-road or on a bumpy gravel road. Let's just put it like that. So, you know what I mean? It's like trade-offs. You can't have everything. You know, one day they might make an adventure bike that makes 120 horsepower, has tons of low-end torque, weighs 450 pounds, has amazing off-road and on-road suspension, and is comfortable. I don't think that's ever going to happen. That's the dream bike, but I think there's, no matter how much that bike, even if you had $100,000 to spend to make that bike cost $100,000, I don't think they can make it no matter what. Man, I should have cut the video off earlier. Look at this. Leave me looking around and stuff. Yeah, no, I actually didn't feel like the wind on my helmet was what I'm talking about. I'm actually talking about more of my like the sides of my shoulders and my arms is what I felt like I was getting more wind. But it wasn't bad. The wind was not a problem. Like, I could ride that bike all day with the wind the way it was. I think if I were to ride the KTM all day, I would want a different seat. That's it. Literally. You put a different seat on the KTM, and a 12-hour day on the highway would be totally fine. Is it going to be... Do you have that lazy, luxurious engine? No, but it's more than capable. More than capable. So now we're back on 211. We're going to go the other way. So this is the sporty ride, the on-road sporty ride. And again, I'll just share my thoughts now while we're watching this. Before we start watching it, I should say. The KTM handles on the road in the sporty sections. I call it a draw. They each excel in different ways. So a win for the KTM is definitely going to be handling, mid to late corner handling. So like when you're getting close to the apex and when you're coming out of the corner, the KTM handles better than the BMW, end of story. But conversely, from braking, trail braking especially, braking, trail braking, and then getting up to the apex, BMW wins hands down on that end. So the handling is really a toss-up. Neither of them takes the cake in a big way. In the power department, the BMW has more power and more torque, but from a sporty riding perspective, I don't think the KTM's at a loss. I'd give the BMW the tiniest edge, if that. The KTM is powerful. There's a cop. The KTM is more than powerful enough to get you in tons of trouble. And to be honest, if you can't keep up with a BMW GS on your KTM 790, it's because you're doing something wrong. Or the BMW rider's just doing something way more right than you. The only clear winner I have on the road here, and I think this is where, I guess now that I say it, I'm going to lean more towards I like the BMW personally for sporty riding. Actually, no, I can't say that. I can't say it because there's two more things. One, brakes. BMW does better brakes. Sorry, it just does. The linked brakes are amazing. The Brembos are amazing. The brakes are ridiculous. And the telelever is a big part of that because the bike doesn't dive so much under braking, and because it uses the linked brakes, you can brake super hard without thinking about it once you get used to it, of course. But the KTM gets a win in the actual, honest-to-God, overall cornering performance, because I forgot to mention, it has higher pegs. So you can actually lean the KTM over further before you start to scrape stuff. So with all that said, I mean, it's a toss-up, don't you think? I mean, someone tell me I'm wrong. Someone give me another reason I missed, or another category I should compare them in when it comes to twisty riding, because I can't think of one. That's everything I can think of. They both are amazing. Yeah. Like I'll put it this way: I would much rather have either of these bikes on the twisties than almost any other bike. Like seriously. I was shocked. I thought the KTM was going to handle kind of bad in the twisties because of the 21-inch wheel and the spoked wheels, but no, absolutely not. I was completely wrong. I was blown away by how good the KTM was. Yeah, and I think that's going to be about it for the review. So, if that's all you were interested in, then you're probably going to be bored coming up. What I'm going to show is kind of the rest of the ride. We found that cool new road, so I'm going to show that. I'm just going to show the whole thing and probably just riff while we're doing that, and then I'm just going to show the whole Mount Weather run, literally all Mount Weather, and then all of Lime Kiln. And I'm just going to hang out. So if you guys want to hang out and talk while we're doing the rest, that's fine. But I don't think anything too exciting or interesting is going to happen unless y'all give me a topic. You know what I mean? So hey, I'm just going to say I want to thank y'all for coming and staying this long. I mean, it's been over an hour. That's awesome. This is the most fun I've had making a video. This is literally the most fun I've had making a video because I've gotten to interact with you guys. And, yeah, it makes me real happy. Because usually I make these things just for me. Now, it's kind of a shame that I have to unlist it, but that's okay. I'll make another one. Not out of this video, but, you know, there's always next time, right? As long as I don't crash. We're definitely going back. I'll tell you that. Yeah, thank you. We're definitely going back to Forest Access Road. And we're definitely finding another road that's just as good somewhere else. Right? That's the plan. Going downhill this bike was a lot of fun. The brakes are good. It's just, man, the BMW spoils you on the brakes, dude. Look how much I'm leaning, and I felt like I had tons more to go. It was fun, man. Your body position on this, I'll give it a win for that. The body position that you can achieve on this bike is a little more effortless, but that's due to the seat. So I can't give that as a win. Like, if I had the sports seat on the BMW, it'd be the same way. So, one thing I will tell any prospective GS owners, you're going to bash your shins on the cylinder heads at least a couple times. Everyone does it. Oops, sorry. I'm still drinking coffee. I'm not going to sleep tonight, am I? That's okay. Not a big deal. Yeah, I'm coming up behind, so this is always a little philosophy thing. I'm coming up behind a truck, and that's why I'm going so slow. Like, yeah, I haven't caught him yet, but I'm doing the slingshot, right? Ain't that the truth? Same here. Always full boots. I've seen what happens to your feet when you crash at high speeds without boots on. I would much rather get road rash, I'll tell you that right now. So that's it. So now we are... Oh yeah, this is just, I know the name of the road, but I can't think of it. You know what I mean? It's like when you got something at the tip of your tongue. It's the road that connects 66 to 211. So I'm back on the GS having some fun. And this is just, you know, riffing on the old twisties. That's the rest of this video. Right? I mean, we got, are we halfway? Yeah, we're about halfway. So about the other half is riffing on the old twisties. So let's see what we got going on here on the phone. Nothing. Dang. And I'm charging the battery, so I'm going to have to do one more battery swap. Maybe not. I don't know if it'll last the rest of the time or not, but I'm going to swap it at about, I don't know, about 2 hours and 20 minutes, I would say. And then give the little last bit out there. Let me see what's going on here. One quick second. I want to check on the video and see how many people are watching because I'm a vain piece of crap, apparently. Oh, we've only got 3 of us. Okay, there's only 3 of you guys. What do you guys think about just calling it? And maybe doing the rest of this and starting off from about this point tomorrow night. And doing the rest of the video tomorrow night. Because I'm thinking because you want me to unlist this. I don't know. I might just keep going. I'm just going to keep going. Sorry. What mods on my bike do I actually find useful? Okay, that's a good one. Definitely not the RAM mount. I hate using my phone on the bike, but that might change so I keep it on. Do you have the hand grips, the bark busters? Those are useful. The bag in the middle, because I don't use a tank bag. So that little bag in the middle, which I know you have. Okay, yeah, we're gonna keep going. We're just gonna do this. It's gonna be like a while. Okay, you know, I'll fast forward here in a minute. I want to see the cool classic car, and then we'll fast forward all the way to the Mount Weather gravel, and we'll go from there to the end maybe. Because I want to show Limekill. I want to show you Vince and Vic. Sorry, I want to show Vic and TKD what they did to Limekill, because that was awesome. Anyways, this is the car. I don't know what this was. It was some old cool car, man. Really cool. All right. So hold on. Before we go to Mount Weather, we'll do the mods on my bike I find useful. The bag in the middle, totally useful. The bark busters, totally useful because of the wind. The engine guards, upper and lower, totally useful. The engine protectors, the valve cover protectors that go under the engine guards, are actually more useful than the engine than the bars. Okay, seriously, get those. Get the valve cover protectors. For the love of God, I can help you find the ones that I have if you even want to go that far. The bags are useful on trips, but I feel like, to be honest, I don't know. I feel like a little bit of rear crash protection would be better. Spools. I haven't needed them, thankfully, but I'm thinking that the spool, you know what I'm saying, the spools front and rear, they're cheap, they're easy, fine. Your bike has them, but my bike did not have air cover protectors. The intakes. The intakes on my bike were just open. I fixed that. That was like a $50 fix, not a big deal. That's about it. I can't think of any other accessories that are worth a crap on this bike. Anything else? Okay, yeah, let me fast... Sorry. Okay, so... Whoa. So yeah, this is just some... Is this fast forwarded right now? Hold on a second. What the heck just happened? Oh no, I'm just going really fast. That's funny. Yeah. Okay, so hold on. Let me just so we go up here. This is the this is a cool little road that's it connects 17 to whatever the road we were on before. It's 66. Let's just put it like that. Connects 17 to 66 and goes west. That was pretty cool. So let me fast forward from here. So this is Mount Weather. That guy was actually rocking it pretty hard. Oh, hold on. Okay, so here we go. Let's just go from here. Is that cool? Now, don't buy all the mods. Be measured about it, because more mods equals more weight, and more weight makes the bike suck off-road. Honestly, I'm going to say this. The lights are pretty... I forgot about that. The lights... You know, okay, so with the lights is a I have lights front and rear, and to be honest, it's like a safety thing, right? It's like when they work and do their job, you don't know it. You know what I mean? So that's a personal question. I personally, yeah, the front and the rear lights are nice, but do they actually do anything useful that I notice? No, not at all. And the reason for that is the lights, the headlight on the GS is like probably the best in the industry. I'm not gonna lie. It is when you turn the high beams on the GS. Go ahead and try this one time. When you turn the high beams on the GS, it lights the road up like the freaking sun, dude. It is like night into day when you use the high beams on the GS. So I don't know if having auxiliary lights is all that useful in terms of nighttime lighting. I'd say the auxiliary lights front, and then the LED strips I have rear, purely there for safety. That's it. Daytime safety, I should say, or just like left turning cars and getting rear-ended. That's it. What other mods are there? Windscreen? I'd have to. I don't know. I don't know if a better windscreen is good or not. That's I've never tried the original. I'd have to try your bike, and you'd have to try mine. You know what I mean? What else is there? Yeah. Let's see. What I also have better. I have SW Motec foot pegs. Those are pretty nice, but I don't know if that would be my top priority. I do not know what your foot pegs look like. That's all I can say. Yeah. The ones on the KTM were okay. I would actually upgrade the ones on the KTM now that I think about it. They're adequate. But they're a little, they're narrow. The ones on the GS are wide. They're like for standing up on it for hours. Whereas the ones on the KTM are a little more, they actually dig into your boots better, which is good, but they are, they're not as wide. Yeah. Personal preference. That is literally a personal preference thing. Yeah, we're just following this car. I mean, this is a really nice road. I will say this: the Mount Weather road that we're on right now, don't bomb it, because I've been on it a few times, and every time I've been on it, there's been two-way traffic every time. This road is more heavily trafficked than you might think, which is weird. I don't really get where the hell these people are going, but what are you gonna do? What else is there? Oh, the stupid, the power port. I don't know if you have this. I don't know if the old bike you had this, but the old BMW it had a, you know, the little cigarette lighter thing. It's not a cigarette lighter, but it's like it's similar. It's nice, but I think you saw in one of my videos it's really easy to lose it. So take it that what you will. I would personally say if you can somehow wire something else up to the CAN bus and make a more secure connection with USB ports on the end of it, I would do that. My bike actually has something like that, but it's not wired up to the CAN bus, so it doesn't work. My bike's got some kind of I got so scared. I was so scared. It wasn't even like really that it was a dangerous move or anything. It was just a noise. I wasn't expecting it. It was so loud. Good times. Good times. That was funny. Yeah, we go up here now. I think you saw this if you watch my Instagram. I made a grainy black and white video of this just because I was bored at work. Yeah. What else is there? I think I covered all the accessories. Do you guys have any more accessories that I didn't cover? That's like kind of everything. Oh, I hate my shift lever. By the way, if I was gonna do another accessory on this bike or a Farkle, I'd get a different shift lever. I don't have a stock one. I have like some SW Motec one, and it's crap. I mean, it's fine. It's strong. It works. It does what it needs to do. But when your boots are wet, it slips. I want a shift lever that's kind of like a sports bike one, where it's like spiky. You know what I mean? So that way, even when your boot's wet, it like digs into your boot. That's it. That would be really the only change I'd make to my bike right now.
How'd you get up here? Okay. Oh, right there.
Airhawk. Oh, never tried one.
I'll meet you down there.
Never tried an Airhawk. Yeah, I heard you mentioning that before. It's pretty cool. Don't know what to tell you on that. I've got a Sergeant seat. I really like it, but it is tall and wide. and I can't recommend it unless you want even less ability to reach the ground. Which is fine. I mean, I'm 6 feet tall, 30-inch inseam, and I have the lowered suspension GS. So, yeah, no big deal. But if you have less than a 30-inch inseam, and you have the regular suspension GS, then a seat that is even higher and wider than the stock seat might not be the way to go. I'm just gonna say it. So grass. I don't know how much you guys have ridden on grass. Grass is slippery. It is very slippery. 50-50 tires help a lot because the 50-50 tires dig into the grass and like dig up the grass, you know what I mean? Whereas adventure tires, they just slide over the top. So, something to keep in mind there. Airhawk. Yeah, the reason I got a new seat was because the seat I had was broken. Long story. Touratech seats, don't get Touratech seats. They are so crappy. That's all I can say. I didn't have a stock seat. The previous owner sold it, and all I had was this awful Touratech seat. And I replaced it with the Sargent seat because Sargent makes really good. Sargent seats are like the most durable seats you can buy. Basically, they're heavy as hell, and they're made out of like steel and stuff. So like that's why I went with them. Is there a more comfortable seat for the GS out there than the Sargent seat? I'm sure there is. Just gonna say that, and I guarantee you that seat requires the base a donor seat from the BMW, which I didn't have, and I didn't really feel like mine. So that's the end of the road going down from Mount Weather, but this road I like even better. Yeah, it's not as hilly and stuff, but man, it's twisty as hell. So twisty. It's one of the. I'd say this is a better road than Mount Weather Road. Or, I'm sorry, Blue Ridge Mountain Road. This is a better road than Blue Ridge Mountain Road. And the great part is that there's a big gravel section, so you can't, none of your sport bike friends can come here. So there's never going to be any cops because there's never going to be any sports bikes. I like it. Now, of course, it's narrow and there's no center line, so you do have to be careful, but still, it's pretty cool. And this road is here. Let me give you the name of this road for you guys, unless someone else has it. Let's see who can do it first. Maybe. It is right here. 604. I win. Maybe. Ebenezer. That's right. Ebenezer Road. Virginia 604. So. Yep. Very cool road. Yeah, I was going to pass him. I was going to do what he did to me and do a full throttle pass. But, yeah, there was a lady. I saw that lady and I was like, I'm not going to buzz her. You know what I mean? That would have been such a dick move. To go full throttle past her. Or like roll off the throttle and get those. My bike makes some pops and stuff every now and again. Such a dick move. Vic, does your GS pop? It's like pop, 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 pop when you roll off the throttle sometimes and like let the revs go down quick, like in first gear. Like if you rev it up to like 5,000 in first and then roll off, well, it'll be like, wow, pop, 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 wow, like that. I don't know. Just curious. I can't remember if. Oh, it does. Okay, cool. Yeah, interesting. I love that. It doesn't first for me mostly, but if I go full throttle in second, it does it too. Yeah, it sounds really cool. It makes. I think they do it on purpose. I think that's literally programmed into the ECU to make it do that. Yeah, I was making fun of him for going a little wide there, but he did it on purpose. So you can't make fun of someone for doing something totally fine on purpose, right? At some point, this turns into gravel. And normally when you see roads like this and they go and they churn the gravel, one thing is there's usually a sign that is like a road to gravel or gravel to road sign. This road doesn't have any of that. It just, yeah. See, now it's gravel out of nowhere. It's just unpaved. Why the road is paved and unpaved the way it is, I don't know. I wonder if politics has something to do with it. You know what I mean? It's weird because it's like you got this section of paved road that on both sides is connected to unpaved road. What the hell? Why don't they pave this part? Are they scared that people are going to go too fast? I honestly, I do not know. Wait, we're ripping it though. So I'm standing up and KTM sitting down. Ooh, you can see the front there. A little washout of the front, you know, it happens. Look, there's something you gotta understand. When you start to ride on gravel, you're gonna lock the brakes, you're gonna slip and slide, the bike's gonna move around. Like, you're gonna go to turn in and the bike's gonna kind of wash out a little bit and then grip. Hopefully. Or it's gonna wash out and you're gonna fly off in low side. It's just, it's the nature of riding off-road. Nothing is gonna change that. Like, better tires? No. Different, lighter bike? No. If anything, a lighter bike makes it worse. Better suspension? No. You have to deal with the fact that you are going to be in less control when you're off-road. Like, end of story. You know? Like, it's just... Have you seen the way... I mean, if you go watch, like, what am I trying to say? Go either watch flat track racing or motocross and watch the way they ride. They literally back it in and then have the front end kind of understeer and do, like, drifts. I don't know if you ever watched, like, Initial D, and they describe drifting in a way that you normally don't describe it. And it's accurate and inaccurate, but I think when it comes to riding a bike off-road, it actually has a lot of value. And that is, a drift is more of an understeer moment than an oversteer moment. Yes, the rear is ahead of the front, and that is oversteer, obviously. But if you're doing a good drift, you actually are losing grip with all your tires, not just the rear. You know what I mean? Like, go watch D1. You know what I mean? Or Formula Drift. They are not just sliding the rear back and forth with the front perfectly gripping. That's just not what's happening. And it's the same with people who ride motorcycles at the limit off-road. They just... Now, on the road, it's a different story. Because when you lose grip in the front on the road for a long period of time, and when it comes back, it tends to come back very violently, right? So you really don't want to lose front end grip. You either end up tucking the front, or you end up sort of semi-tucking the front and then getting grip back and then getting, you know, high-sided. So, but off-road, the grip doesn't come back so violently, so you end up semi-tucking the front and then kind of slowly, and you get bucked around, you know what I mean? Bucks you around, but you stay on the bike. That's all I can say about that. So don't be scared of, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Don't be scared of the, what am I doing? Yeah. The slides. Like, and to be honest, that, what I'm explaining right there is why I'm going to Super Camp. American Super Camp, because I want to learn how to, like, have more of a muscle memory for sliding a bike. Like, I don't want to learn how to slide my bike in a serious way on a 525-pound plus accessories plus my fat ass motorcycle, right? On the public roads, no less. You know, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I'd love to be able to back that my GS in and be able to do it in a safe and reliable way. Whoa, what am I doing? Oh, I'm checking the camera. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit here. Let's, there's not much left. There's only a little bit left. What do we got going on here? This is, that's that, a little bit of off-road. So one thing you got to remember on these roads, and I was going to talk about, I probably didn't need to show all this, is that we might see it. There are families like these. This is a neighborhood. And we were talking about that before, so I'm just gonna mention it. These are neighborhoods. Don't go crazy. Easy peasy. Oh yeah, is this it here? Is this Lime Kiln? Yeah, this is Lime Kiln here. So let's just go through this a little bit, and then it ends. So this, I think you guys all recognize this, right? This turn here. It's really like it tightens up really good. But look at the pavement. This is what I wanted to show y'all. They repaved it. They repaved Lime Kiln. This is probably, sports bike wise, this is the best sports bike road in the area if you can keep yourself in check and not go too crazy. Now, of course, because you don't have a center line, you're in the woods, yada yada, no shoulder. But seriously, this is my favorite road now. End of story. This is easily my favorite paved road. I would say that the road that the KTM took me on, favorite unpaved road I've been on in a while. I don't know. I need to hit Judge Rye Road again. Look that up. Judge Rye Road. It's I think it straddles the border between Virginia and West Virginia up into George Washington National Forest. It's not very technical, but it's like long and hilly and windy. So it's nice. I need to hit that again because I haven't hit it in like 3 years. I don't know, a long time. I'll tell you that. All right, let's skip a little bit ahead. We're gonna end this soon. All right. I wanna see the cop. I wanna see where I emergency brake. I see a cop posted up, and I just like get on the brakes so hard it's fast. It's like hilarious. It's like if someone made a left turn in front of me. I got so scared. Oh my god. I just got so scared. Oh, I know what I'll do. Okay. So, just letting you guys know, instead of unlisting this video, I'm going to edit it out. And to the point, I'm going to start the video at the point after y'all fix your names, okay? Do you guys think that's acceptable? That way, that's it. I mean, that's all I'll do. There'll be no need to, no one will see anything. They'll see your names like they are right now. You know what I mean? I think that should work, right? Cool. Thanks. Like, if you're not okay with it, let me know and I'll still keep it unlisted. But I think that works fine. Well, no. The chat replay is embedded in the video. Like, do you see how it's in the video? That's like in the video. Like, I can't get rid of that. Yeah. I'll just start it from where the names are changed. I'll just take a look real quick and make sure that that's it. You know what I mean? It'll be fine. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I really appreciate y'all watching. I usually get a lot of views on these, like 5-10 views after the fact. So you know, that's just is what it is. And I'm a little vain. All right, I think it's coming up. It's like right where this opens up. In the pavement. I'm so happy with this. I was gonna go here today, but it started freaking raining at like 4 o'clock when it shouldn't have started until like 8. All right, it's like right here on the left. Where is he? Right there. Look at that. I triggered the ABS. I think that was dumb. I should have just rolled off and followed the KTM. What you gonna do? So there's not much more. I was gonna show that road. When I was talking to the KTM, he said he'd never been down that gravel road, so I was just gonna show what that looks like. You'll see, it's nothing special, but I was gonna show it anyways. So you can take a look if you want. Otherwise, guys, that's all the fun part. All the fun parts are over. Oh, we got a fourth person, of course, right at the end. So, welcome person number 4. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, we like blow through this stop sign. I'm scared, man. I'm like, no, I don't want him following us. Although he would have stopped us if he wanted to. I think he was looking for people going the other way. Or I don't know what he was looking for. I mean, he was looking for people. I see another cop posted up, actually, before the end of this video. So I come off this road, and I go down on the other road, and then right at the end of this video, there's another cop. And it kind of posted up in the same way. It's weird. So this road here, it's got a couple 90-degree turns. This is very Loudoun County-ish for me. These gravel road 90s are everywhere. Like, this is just classic. So I slid out a lot for these, and it's not so much because of grip, but more visibility. Like, in a turn like that, the last thing you need to do is grab a handful of front brake, because you ain't gonna stay up. You know what I mean? But the rest of it's kind of just like this. I was gonna take I got a buddy on a single R. I was gonna take him down this road because it's like it's a good cut through for going from Sterling out to the lime kiln. You know what I mean? It actually, if you take this road, it literally shaves like maybe not 10 minutes, but like 3 or 4 minutes off your trip, and it's a lot more fun than going 7 with all those lights down to 15. Yeah. But you can see me riding slower than I was before, and again, I'm by myself. This is a less well-traveled road. If I do happen to have a crash, when will someone come by? You know? Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna... You have a crash and you get trapped into the bike. Who's gonna help pick the bike up for you? Or if you, like, twist your ankle and you can't ride. Now you're just sitting there with your bike on the ground for, like, an hour and a half waiting for a car to come, you know? Oof. No thanks. One second, I'm going exactly super slow, though. I'd love to see how fast I'm going when I'm standing up. One thing to know is if you do record these videos, the GoPro data logging is awful. So many reasons. I could rant about that for like another 20 minutes. About how just the accuracy of it and the work. That was it. That was all the gravel. And so, one more side. So we go from here and then... I want to go... You know what? Here. Whatever. We're just going to watch. I'm just going to watch. I'm just gonna watch. It's kind of boring for a second. Well, someone joined and they were like, "This is too boring. I gotta leave." No, just kidding. So this is a pretty cool road here, and I'm glad I got. I'm gonna say I'm glad there was a car in front of me, because if I wanted to have fun on this road, I would have gotten a big ticket. So what I'm putting in right now on the GPS is I'm trying to set it to my house, but I kind of forgot how to do that. On the GPS, you can set your home, and then there's like a go home function, but it's not working on mine. I think I need to just do like a full reset of my GPS. You know what I mean? Before I go on another big trip, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just delete everything and start the GPS over from scratch. Because it's kind of it's kind of pissing me off. The only thing I like about it is I do have a very particular way. I have like that tile grid of all the readouts. I like that. I'll probably take a picture of that first and then reset it up. Just that way. See this? I get caught behind this guy and slow down a lot. But watch, the minivan sees me. I don't get close to them, but they see me. And they start speeding up. And I start speeding up. Look at this. Look at this. So see, the minivan's gone. Like, I'm actually right now going the same speed as the minivan. No, I'm not. I'm going faster. The minivan sees the cop, and now I see him. Like, ah! That's really the end of the video, guys. Thanks again for watching. Yeah, have a fun one. Think about your riding, all that good stuff. If anyone's got any questions or anything before we get out of here, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to let this end and then kill the stream. Pretty straightforward. Right now, I just got to figure out how to kill the stream because that's kind of a difficult one. So anyways, guys, there's really no more video. I'm just screwing around. I got to figure out yeah, how to kill this. So again, if you have any more questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. I'll give you like 5 seconds. Cool. All right. See y'all later. I'm going to cut it off. All right, I go here. Hold on, I go here. It's like the software doesn't do it. I go live here. And then I click here. Okay, there we go. All right, guys, take care and yeah, think about your